Good evening, good evening, everyone. It's Thursday night. Everyone knows what that means. That means it is time for Honest Hour. I want to say before we get started here is I want to thank everyone for their support, everyone for their thoughts, their kind words. Judah, what's up, bro? You gonna be at the shop tomorrow, bro? I've been meaning to hit you, but I've been going crazy. I wanted to come through and we could talk some business. I'll be in Newburgh tomorrow. So I just want to thank everyone for their support, for their words, just doing everything. You know, it's just great to see, everyone supporting one another. All right, I'm gonna message you after the show, bro, for sure. So, I want to just thank everyone sincerely, genuinely for all their support, all their prayers, all their thoughts, all their kind words. Anyone who's asked to come on the show, anyone who wants to be on the show, thank you. Tonight's guest is an artist by the name of Terruhwrist. He's a dope MC, dope guy, dope person. Met him through channels on another I don't know if it was another show or just over Facebook, but believe it or not, this will be the first time we've ever talked even face to face. So I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be another good one. I'm ready for it. And without further ado, he's already in the room. So I'm going to bring him in. I'm going to invite her vibing out. Just sent that invite, so. But yeah, there's the
Oh,
guy. What's going
chilling,
on?
Mike. What's good with you, bro?
I can't complain, man. I can't complain. I'm over here just doing it up. You're the 11th episode.
Nice.
I appreciate you taking time to
Thank you.
come on the show. You know, this is gonna be great, great. But most importantly, how are you, and how are you settling in? We're gonna get into it, but you just relocated back to the 845.
Indeed, indeed.
So, so how are you adjusting back to, or just being back home pretty much?
Man, it feels great, bro. I spent 3 years kind of alone, talking to a dog and a bearded dragon to keep me sane. So it feels good to be around family, to be around love. Just realize as you get older, just don't take that shit for granted because it's not gonna be here all the time. You know what I mean? So I'm glad I'm around my family and just excited to be back, bro. For real.
Oh well, we're glad that you're here. You're glad that you're alive. Glad that you're
Appreciate
back, and I'm glad that you're on the show. And hopefully after this, some people will understand terrorists, and even I'll understand more because honestly, like we talk a lot, but we don't know each other that
it.
well. If
Word.
you want to be
Mm-hmm.
honest, we don't know each other that well. So this interview is going to be a little different because there's some more deep rooted questions that I have come up with to really get an understanding of you as a man, you as an artist, and just you as an individual.
Okay.
So, I like a challenge. I
Okay.
do like
Okay.
a challenge. It was a little, and then like I was catching gems. I'm like, all right. I'm like good. And then I just noticed there was like six things I missed, and I'm like, oh well, we need to talk about this. Like, like this has to be talked about. So now that I might have to jump around a little bit, but we're gonna make it happen.
I appreciate
So
that. I appreciate that. Thank you for listening.
no, of course, of course. So, we're gonna start off like, where are you originally from? Because are you originally from the 845, or were you born somewhere else and moved here? Like, where are you originally from?
I'm originally from the Boogie Down Bronx, South Bronx. You already know the vibes.
Okay.
Spent most of my time down there. Moved up to the 845 around 2010, and I've been there ever since. Took a little hiatus up into Rochester for 3 years, but I'm back. So I'm originally from the Bronx, but 845 is where my second home away from home for sure.
And what was it like? Because the horror stories of the Bronx. Like that seems to be the only thing that comes out of there. But there are good things down there.
Yeah,
Hip hop was born there for crying out loud. I
facts.
was at the 50th hip hop concert. I think I was talking to you
Yeah,
while I was
we
there.
were.
So what were, even though you said you moved up here in 2010,
Mhm.
you said, okay. So what was your experience like in the Bronx for you?
Well, I mean, before all, well, realistically, it was a jungle. It started to pick up. It got cleaned up a little bit, and then it became a jungle again after with this bail reform that's going on now. So it seems like we're regressing in the Bronx as far as it being, you know, uh, hard knock life, if I can, for lack of a better term.
Right.
But when I was growing up, man, you had your, it was a little bit ghetto, but it wasn't like everybody living in squatter or just not understanding that there's things that are bigger than them when they step outside in their apartment. But it just I was grateful enough to be able to be raised in a good part of the Bronx, and I'm just thankful for that. But now it doesn't look the same when you go back, unfortunately. So it's sad.
Yeah. Things they never stay the same. They either get, and people don't leave things better than the way they found them. They
Word,
actually make it worse.
word.
So from the Bronx, when you moved up here, what caused the move up into to you moved to Wappingers from the Bronx?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's a cultural shock,
absolutely.
because the Bronx is, you don't need a car. you know there's public transportation, there's
Yep.
bikes, there's your legs, like
Mm-hmm.
everything's there. So what was it like changing from the Bronx now up here and Wappingers, which is like, even Wappingers isn't like city, like it's not like, even you get a little city like Newburgh, you're
Yeah.
like, all right, if you depend on which part you're in, you're like, all right, I can kind of adjust to this. But to move
Mm-hmm.
from the Bronx to, like, it's too quiet.
That was the main thing. Like, I feel like just people that come from the city are already resilient enough, and they're just ready to adapt into kind of any situation they come from. So, just being from New York, like we just have to adapt and overcome off rip. If not, you're gonna get left behind. You're gonna be a fossil. So, I mean, I think that was kind of that wasn't it wasn't a hard transition for me to be able to kind of get life up here. The only thing was how quiet it was, and you needing a car to get everywhere. A 20-minute drive is like a 3-hour walk. You know what I mean? It's like
Word.
I'm not about that life. So that was the biggest culture shock. Just the convenience of not have the inconvenience of having things being as far as they were. Can't use your legs like you could in the Bronx, and
Right.
just not hearing any trains, man. That for like a good year. I used to live right next to the train station, so religiously every morning, it was every 15, 20 minutes you would hear the train go by, and now, you don't. And it took a couple years to get used to that. So that was the biggest thing, I think.
Yeah. That's a hard adjustment versus even me when I have to go down there for work and deliver the noise and just the
Yeah.
people. It's like my head's on a swivel
Yeah,
all the
you
time
realize
because
you're overstimulated all the time.
yeah, yeah. There's like so much going on at once, and it's
Hmm.
just like, oh, okay, okay, okay. So so then, roughly when did you start, like, music? Because it's kind of like, like, what, for better use of the term, what really jump started it for you? Was it poetry? Did you hear one artist? Like, did you just kind of like mess around with it? Like, what was really the thing that pushed you towards doing it?
Um, I mean, I've always had that ear for music, like as a kid, you know what I mean? Just dancing to it, just Michael Jackson, you know what I mean? Ruled the household, freestyle music ruled the household, Spanish music. But so I had a lot of influence as far as music goes. So I had a very eclectic playlist. So I thank my parents for that. But as far as like actually getting to the writing part of it, that didn't happen until like high school. Like junior year, I took a humanities class, and I think my humanities class, along with my sophomore English class, definitely gave me that idea that I should be able to be creative in some sort. Like I felt the creativity in my body, I just didn't know how. And then I heard Lupe, and then I was like, yeah, that's it. Once I heard Lupe, that's when I knew that I was gonna rap for real.
Okay, okay. So Lupe was really your biggest, your inspiration.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, like, what? Food and Liquor came out what 2007?
5,
Was it 5? The
5,
Cool was
6.
2007.
Yeah,
6?
2006, 7. Yeah. No, you got it right. You got it right.
Okay.
You got it right.
All
Yeah.
right, I was like, I knew something was '07.
It was the end of the year, so it was the end of those years. Like there was
Okay.
September or November releases.
Okay. Yeah, yep. And in my opinion, those first two albums are two of the like greatest albums
By far.
of all time.
Yeah.
I sometimes go back and like there's certain albums where you can still feel like you heard it for the first time.
Yep.
I hear American Terrorist, I still get chills.
Bro, and that's the reason why I got my name. In the beginning of the song, yeah, for real. In
Well,
the
we
beginning of the
we
song.
jumped ahead a little bit,
I'm
but go.
sorry. I'm sorry.
No, listen, it's all good. It's all good. We're
All right.
covering it. It was it
All right.
was
All right.
it was the next thing on the list.
That's
So
crazy.
it's interesting that I utilized that song.
Perfect transition. Nah, because for real, when I heard that song in the beginning, he's like, the ink of a scholar is worth 1,000 times more than the blood of a martyr. And then he just says Terruhwrist, and that's it. And history followed after that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's wow.
Yeah. I got goosebumps and everything in that exact moment. And I was like, oh shit, that's me. That's me.
Yeah. Because even like listening to you and watching your visuals and your mannerisms, like a lot of, and I've told you this because some artists get offended when you compare them to other artists. They
Yeah.
don't want to be
Mm-hmm.
compared. So I said, listen, but your mannerisms really embody him. Like you can tell you've structured kind of what you do
Mm-hmm.
behind him.
Correct.
But
Correct.
before I move further into this, I want to know, were there any other inspirations other than Lupe for you? Or was it just like, okay,
I
it's Lupe?
mean, I've been listening to music, for a long time. So it was looking at how Rakim used to ride the beat. It was looking at how Nas used to story tell almost without even cursing at times,
Yeah.
and just picking apart and structuring my flow and my content around my favorite artist, but still trying to make it my own. I think it was just kind of being inspired by the game around me, being a student of the game, and just making it my own in the way that I could, preach it or tell it.
Okay. You know, I could definitely feel that and see that in your music. You carved your own path.
Thank you. Appreciate that, bro.
You carved your own path. So I have the first thing I remember seeing as I was going through, my stalking as I call it, is the first thing I seen was it says 2012 the beginning, the territorial expansion.
Oh, you went deep into the crates to find out. Oh, you went far, far.
Yeah. I don't hold back anything. I be doing the homework, bro.
Wow, Nardwar out here. I'm fucking with it. I like that. I like
I try.
that.
If I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna try and be a player in this game,
Yeah, 100.
you got to do the research,
First.
and like real quick, I look at, and it's a little messy now, but Club Shay
Yeah.
Shay, I look at how Shannon Sharp really studies his
Mm-hmm.
topics. Like he really
He does.
and then his introductions are second to
Mm-hmm.
none. He knows everything. Unfortunately, the guests are a little
Yeah.
messy. But it's all good and fun. Now
Yeah.
he's got the most watched podcast episode in YouTube history.
Wow.
He's
Oh, I
winning.
didn't know that.
It just
Oh,
happened. The
Cat Williams.
episode with Cat
Mm,
Williams, it has over 70 million views on YouTube, most
damn. Good
ever.
for him. Good for him.
So even though it's messy, he's still winning.
Yeah, 100. But at the end of the day, everything is messy now. Everything is messy.
Ain't that the truth?
For real,
So
bro.
the beginning, the territorial expansion, was that the first project, or was that the first like work of art that you put out, or was there more before that? I'm just trying to get a feel for what the first project was. There was a couple other things there, but I just your timeline you gave, what you said you're gonna rap in that, it's a little few years off. So I'm just
Mm-hmm.
now I'm more curious as to when it was.
Yeah, no, the territorial expansion was the first like project that I've ever put on wax. I did one after that. It was called Orgasmic Intellectuals. That one was kind of like self-produced. I kind of made all the beats. That one was a little bit more personal because I made all the beats. And on Territorial Expansion, they were all like industry beats that I kind of like rapped over, just to like put out a mixtape, because that's what mixtapes were fire. That's how old we are. So like, you know, put out a mixtape, wanted to see what happens. I used a lot of like different beats, different sounding beats, not like regular beats that normal people would use, just to like be creative, be fun with it. Some of it was okay, some of it sucked. The audio quality was like shitty, but like I knew what I wanted to do when I got behind the mic, and I just was able to continue my craft and just be able to be like, this works, this doesn't work, and just, you know, take what I can get and try to get better at it, essentially.
Right. You know, everything's a work of art. Um, like even this show, like I was
Feel you.
prolonging doing it for like the longest time because I talked to you months before I even did this. You know, like months I asked you about this. And,
Yeah.
you know, I was talking to my friend Nisi at an event and she said, just do it. It ain't gonna be perfect. And I've noticed each week I'm just adding on a layer and I'm just figuring it out. And it's
Yeah.
getting I'm getting better and
Mm-hmm.
better and better, you know. So, you know, it's all learning process. And that's the same thing, especially with music. It's a lot of trial and error. You
Man.
know, even especially to have a long career, you have to really try
Mm-hmm.
everything. You know, some of my favorite artists of all time, Nas. You know, he's tried
Yeah.
everything, and he's still album 21 is dropping this year. Guy's been
Crazy.
rapping 30 years. You know, you look at Mary J. Blige. You
Mm-hmm.
know, she even tried to go a little left field with Drake. Like, no, 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 reel back in. Come back to us. You got
Yeah.
that club thing out. Okay,
Yeah.
we forgive you. So you know you you know, we forgive you. You're still the queen of soul, you know, but
Yeah.
just chill. But you really have to kind of adjust with the times,
Mm-hmm.
and not many artists can do that. And like I said, but you still have artists that can spit. Nas, you know, Ghostface, Jadakiss, Styles P. You still have those artists that can adjust, and you know, finding out who you are as an artist sometimes takes time.
Absolutely.
You know, um, you know, finding and some artists know who they are.
Yeah.
Like there's no ands, ifs, or buts. You know, I mean, I've seen you posting him, Oswin Benjamin.
Mm-hmm.
You
That's
know,
my guy. That's my guy.
he knows he he has always been a dope rapper.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like right now, the past couple years, he's really found out who he is as an artist.
Correct.
There's
Correct.
a difference because I don't know if you're familiar with you know the counterpart he had, one friend of mine, Naj Murph.
Yeah.
He knew who he was as an artist and as a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
But Oswin, he knew who he was as a rapper, but he's now finding his art.
Yeah.
And I think for you, it's just my personal
Mm-hmm.
opinion. I think you're finding that, and you've gotten it because there's definitely a difference in your
Yeah.
music compared to a lot of artists, which leads me to this question. Your music style is indifferent. What sets your music and style aside from other artists?
I'm not afraid to. I'm not afraid to give social commentary um, about what's happening in the most impartial way. I try not to make anything like based by color. Just the fact that we're all a part of the 99%, regardless of what color you are.
Yeah.
We're all we're all in that outlier or tax
What up,
bracket that we don't have.
17K?
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So just being able to put forth the message that it's not about color, creed, race, sexual orientation, or any of that. We're all getting
Yeah.
fucked. You know what I mean? We're all. So it's a matter of when are we going to band together and stop continuing the divide and conquer, the divisiveness that we're allowing to continue to be perpetuated in our society. When are we going to stand up and realize that we're being played? You know what I mean? And that's what I try to drive home. I try to make it so that it's witty. You know, the flow is there, the songs are catchy, but there's a message in there saying that we're getting fucked, and we have to do
Yeah,
something about it. And if we don't do anything about it, we're just gonna get lost in translation. And it seems like it's happening now anyway.
absolutely. I think, to that point is everyone's against each
Mm-hmm.
other. I have I have been told, me personally, I have this aura of energy around me that brings people comfort, I guess you could say,
Same.
you know. And even like on this show, some of the guests have told me you just make it a comfortable vibe.
I dig it. Yeah.
And I want the guests to be who they are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to censor anybody because I look at Cam and Mace on their talk show and they be like nigga
Word.
this, nigga that, fuck
A
that,
hundred.
dick
A hundred.
this, that, boom, boom. They are who they are,
Yeah.
and that's something that we have to do. Those things you mentioned are very important, and we, instead of working together as a collective, they want everyone apart.
Yeah.
They want everyone fighting
Yep.
and banging heads.
Yep. Like we're on
Shouldn't
the
be like
same
that.
side, but at the end of the day, it seems like we're not, because we all have little pockets of subtopics that we're that adamant about, and then we lose sight of the bigger picture.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, people who don't understand, and I think you'll appreciate this and that, not analogy, but what I'm going to say is you need to listen to Food and Liquor 2 again
Oh
and
God.
really, really understand what he's talking about in a lot of those songs, and really break apart what he's talking about because that will open your
Yeah.
mind, to a lot of different things.
Just around my way. Freedom ain't free. That's the one.
Exactly. Now, real quick, because the next section of questions are really deep and
Okay.
empowering. That was a deep and empowering answer. I'm gonna take a break. I don't know if you've ever watched the show, but I have this section called Honest Picks,
Okay.
and I want to get to that before we lose track because I feel like this is going somewhere that I'm not even foreseeing.
I'm sorry.
No, no, no. It's a great thing. No
All
need to
right. All
apologize.
right. No doubt. No doubt.
It's trust me. I am not upset
Cool.
about it.
Cool. Okay.
I am not upset about it at all. I just want to make sure I get to this. So I got about I don't know like 20 of them here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask you one or the other. If you want to say why, go ahead. If not, we keep
Go
going.
for it.
Biggie or Tupac?
Oh fuck you. Tupac.
All right. Jada or Fab?
Oh damn. Man. Earlier in my years, I would have said Fab, but now in my life, I'm saying Jada.
Shout out to Apple Music. The Soul Tapes are up on there now.
Facts. I'm trying to eat.
I listened to all three the day they released.
100. Same.
They were all three. My wife's like, "Dang, you still listening to these?" Yup.
Fab had the game in a chokehold, though.
Yeah, for real.
Word.
Mixtape Fab is special and underrated.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we
Mm-hmm.
talk about Lil Wayne, mixtape Lil Wayne, and
Yeah.
all that, but we gotta talk
Yeah.
about Fab.
Yeah. 100.
This one was a risk, but I'm gonna ask it, even though I have a feeling I know the
All right.
answer. Lupe or Nas?
Oh, Lupe. But
I
I'm biased,
tried
so
it
that
though.
doesn't count. That doesn't
I
count.
I
There would be
tried
no
it.
Lupe if it weren't for Nas. So, truthfully speaking,
Okay. J. Cole or Kendrick?
Kendrick.
Rakim or KRS-One?
Oh, oh, KRS-One, because he's a teacher.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I went nuts when he surprised us at that 50th con.
Oh,
That
bro.
I said to my wife, I'm like, KRS-One ain't here. I'm mad. And all of a sudden, like the lights went white and then he was just there. He just
South
appeared. I was like,
Bronx.
oh, okay.
South Bronx.
Yo, it was nuts.
I was. I watched it. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Benny the Butcher or Conway the Machine?
Oh man, can I say neither?
Yeah, neither. Yeah.
If I had to pick, it would be Benny, but I don't do that drug rap. I hate that shit.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. You like to keep it to the hip hop, the real stuff. Big L or Method Man?
Big L. Sorry. Not
Big, nope.
close.
No.
Not even close.
Big L, another underrated one. Rest in
Man.
peace. Big punter Q-Tip.
Oh, baby. This is a good one because they're like completely contrasting each other.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Oh wow. This is a hard one. Wow. I'm just gonna go.
You can say
Man,
both or neither as well.
man, I want to say pun, but the reason why I want to say Q-Tip is his range.
Yeah.
His range.
Oh yeah.
'Cause,
Yeah.
yeah, he's an artist, dude. Artist.
And a student of the
For
game.
real, bro.
You
For
know,
real. For real.
like for me, Tribe Called Quest is in my top three. Like as a
Yeah,
groups.
absolutely. I think they're my
You know,
favorite group of all time, next to Outkast.
see, man,
Yep.
see, Outkast is my favorite.
Word, I feel you.
It's Outkast, De La Soul, Tribe.
Fire.
That,
See me.
that's my top three right there.
I got Tribe. I got DITC, which is that's some real hip hop shit. And then we got PM Dawn.
Okay, I ain't even mad at that.
Yeah, PM Dawn's a little different. They yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jay-Z or Eminem?
Oh man, you come with the hard hitters, dude.
Last week, my boy Phenom was in here, and he's just like, oh, he was like, you just do this to piss people off.
I think so.
And what's worse is I pull up a list, and then I'll think of some, and then I'll be like, ooh, that artist is better to put there, make it harder.
I gotta go Hove because I'm from New York, bro.
Okay. Andre 3000 or Black Thought?
Oh, I hate you. Black Thought. He's my most underrated.
Oh, absolutely. Greatest Funk Flex freestyle of all time.
All time. Not even close. It's not even close.
There's just no debate. Ice Cube or Ghostface?
I'm going to go Ice Cube on this.
Okay. Ghostface got an album coming out tomorrow.
Oh, word?
Yep, the new track with Nas is fire. Yeah. LL Cool J or Busta Rhymes?
Busta Rhymes.
Lil Kim or Nicki?
Lil Kim. The fuck?
Missy or Eve?
Oh, this is a good one, but Missy.
Lauryn Hill or Queen Latifah?
Oh. Wow. Damn. Both.
Okay.
Fuck that.
Remy Ma or Lady of Rage?
Lady of Rage.
NWA or Bone Thugs and Harmony?
Oh. Damn. Boom, 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 boom.
It's funny that this one's going to be a good one. Outkast or De La Soul?
Outkast for me.
Far Side or The Roots?
Oh, wow. That's a good question, dude. Far Side. Just because of
The Locks?
Dilla.
Oh. Greatness.
Right.
In its truest form.
Purist.
The Locks or Brand Nubian?
Oh, shit. Brand Nubian.
EPMD or Black Moon?
Black Moon.
All right. Chris Brown or Neo?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh man. Oh shoot. Both.
R. Kelly
I can't.
or Usher? Whitney Houston or Aretha Franklin?
Oh god damn it. You Oh man. Whitney, bro. Whitney. I got to see that. I got to see that in person.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Not in person, but like I remember like the Super Bowl. Like I watched the Super Bowl, and I was just like, that was the first time I ever felt in love. I think because I was just staring and just like the voice of an angel, bro. I just yeah.
Second to none.
For real.
Got to save the best for last. MJ or Prince?
Oh no. Yo, you see, 10 years ago, I would have immediately said Michael Jackson, right? Mm-hmm. But now, realizing that Prince played all of his instruments, owned all of his masters, I'm going to have to go with Prince. Now, as an adult musician, realizing how hard it is to play a damn guitar and seeing this man over there, yeah, snapping.
And do it in high heels.
Facts.
And take your woman.
And take your woman in the process.
Yeah. Yeah, me musically, I just can't go against Michael Jackson.
I feel you.
For years, I always would say it wasn't a debate, but the only time it's not a debate is if someone says Prince. Other than that, I don't want to hear nothing. I
I
don't
feel
want.
you.
It's not a
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
You know,
Nobody else
I don't
comes
want.
close.
I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear it.
Man,
Nope.
that was hard. That was hard.
Everyone who's come on has enjoyed that one.
I mean, I enjoyed it, but I just didn't like picking. That was good though. That was really good. That was
Some of
really
them
good.
are some gimmies. You're like, all right, cool. But then some of them are
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like,
That Black Thought Andre 3000 one had me running a jump off a roof real quick, bro. Man, I love Black Thought, but like
oh,
Andre 3K, bro.
that's
Just you know,
that's stacks, man.
that's yeah, bro. Yeah, can't go wrong.
Jumping back to the interview. How do you incorporate your personal experiences into your music?
Well, another reason why I call myself terrorist is because I kind of look the part. When people meet me off rip, they automatically assume that I'm Indian or Guyanese or everything that I'm not. So
What
like,
exactly? I should have asked that. What exactly is your nationality?
guess
You def-
you know my
you,
name.
you definitely got to be some type of black and Hispanic. It's
I'm,
got to be.
I'm Puerto Rican and Italian.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I got that Taino blood in me. So I got that beautiful complexion.
Oh
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So people
Well,
they see
well,
the Indian.
Puerto Ricans are just light skinned black people, and the Italians
100
are the blacks of the white people. So you
for
black
real.
too. So
Yeah,
you
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 right.
there's you got three halves, as I would say.
Yeah, but like, the my first time I ever was racially profiled, you know what I mean, or felt like I was racially profiled. It wasn't even like on the street by a cop, you know what I mean. It wasn't like NYPD officer like roughing me up, stopping and frisking me. It was in the airport in 2003, a couple years after 9/11. You know what
Oh
I mean?
boy.
Yeah, word. So like, out of my family, you know what I mean. My dad is a little bit darker than me. My mom is like olive. You know, my brother is like olive. My sister is like a little bit lighter than me. You know what I mean? So
I
like,
seen a
we're all shades.
picture profiling with you and your parents. You look just like your pops.
I do just like yeah, for real, for real. But I was profiled and I was pulled into the room, took my shoes off. They searched me, and like I didn't realize it in the beginning, but like I knew that like my mom looked visibly frustrated, and it didn't hit me until like I grew older and realized what had happened.
Yeah.
So you know, and then just knowing that I have that look about me that automatically gives a notion that's yeah, he might be from the Middle East, something like that. So I
Yeah.
kind of just ran with it, and I made it a part of my identity. So now you think I'm a terrorist? I am a terrorist.
They terrorize the rap game.
Hijacking your playlist.
Uh-huh. Absolutely. That's it. That's interesting. I've been racially profiled before, and certain people who aren't of a darker descent, to say the least, they don't
Uh,
understand. Um, you know, like my wife, she don't understand. She's half white, she's half Puerto Rican.
yeah.
She don't well, but she looks white.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't be able to, unless you know her, you wouldn't be able to tell.
Word.
So like she doesn't fully understand what it means. And it's definitely hard to do. It's definitely hard to deal
For
with.
real.
And it's something that unfortunately people of darker complexions have to deal with in a day in and day out basis.
Every day.
And it's even to a point where sometimes you don't even think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I worked at Pepsi, they wanted me to be a manager. And you know what I said to them? Because I'm an outspoken person. I looked at my skin, I looked at the HR lady and the vice
Mm-hmm.
president, and
Mm-hmm.
I said, are there any other managers of my descent that look like me walking through here? He goes, no, but that gravitates me to you. I'm like, yeah, but then that gets all eyes on me because I'm the only one. And then
And you're the whipping post. You're the scapegoat.
Exactly. And they kind of just looked at me like, whoa, that's powerful. I'm like, it's not meant to be powerful. It's just the way the world works for me. People in that situation. Now, if you have three or four other ones that look like me, okay, cool. We can work that
Yeah, that's
out.
culture.
But
That's environment you want to be in.
right, but in this situation, not something that I want to be
I agree.
the first of, at
Word,
least in this time
word,
period.
word up.
So another thing is, like I said, a lot of artists they experiment with their music,
Hmm.
right? Like I said, Mary J did it with Drake with that terrible one song. Um, Drake, he experiments all over the place,
Yeah, let's leave Drake out of
It-
this.
well,
I'm
you know,
fucking with you. I'm fucking with you.
a lot of people don't want to talk about Drake right now. But given I mean, the biggest circumstance to get into this question is think about when he released that dance album, me included. People were making fun of him, and then it was the biggest dance selling album in Apple Music's
Word.
history. So most streamed. So even like, y'all laughing, but I'm winning,
Yeah,
kind of thing.
always.
And what people don't understand about Drake is, he's left an imprint on music, whether you like it or
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
He's left an imprint, not just hip hop, music,
yeah.
music itself. He's left an imprint, and but he's had to change and go through the times. But a lot of artists stay true to who they are no matter what happens. Thinking, So the question is, how do you balance staying true to you and making an appeal to a larger audience?
Man, when I 100% successfully can answer that question, I will get back to you because if I would have gotten that down by now, I would be on a Billboard chart or some shit. You know what I mean? But I think in my pursuit of that, it's not being afraid to feel vulnerable in your
Yeah.
music, because I feel like a lot of music lacks emotion and vulnerability, especially hip hop. You know what I mean? Like I feel like pop and stuff like that. There's a lot of pockets where you have that vulnerability aspect of it. But as far as like hip hop, we just want to be hard 24/7, and it's just not it. You know what I mean? That's
Hmm.
what that's one. That's one. But another way that I'm trying to just appeal is making more making more songs that I would hear on the radio as opposed to hearing on a mixtape. And that's the hardest part for me. I'll be honest. I know my limitations.
Hmm.
I feel like I make music for the revolutionary. You know what I mean? That's
Right.
that's my that's my niche. I make music for the revolutionary. And if I have to make a couple of girl songs in between that, then I'm gonna do so. But at the end of the day, like, I'm not here to make you shake your ass. I'm here to make you shake your brain.
Right. I think, like I said, you stay true to who you are. Because if you really think about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Almost every artist has had to peel back a layer, right?
Yeah,
You look at Biggie Smalls, every song on Ready to Die is a gangster hit, except two.
except
Big
two.
Big Papa and Juicy. He
Word.
had to have something that appealed, right?
Mm-hmm,
You look
mm-hmm.
at Tupac. Tupac would make you think, like Brenda's Got a Baby
Word.
got out there, but this guy also made California Love.
Word.
This guy also made
Ambitious as a rider.
hit him up, or not hit him up. Oh Jesus, I just had the song in my head. Yeah, yeah, ambitious as a rider, but oh gosh, I'm thinking the commercial hits.
Hail
Gosh,
Mary.
oh man, but just the one that appealed, like radio appeal, California Love.
I get
How do
around.
you want it? How do you
Oh, how
want
do
it?
you
That's the one I was
want
thinking
it?
of. You
Okay.
know, he and a lot of his deeper stuff did get into the radio and did make that appeal. But even still, he had to peel back a layer and say, okay, I got to get my way because the radio was big back then.
Word.
That's what it was. It wasn't like now. It's harder for artists like you, you
It's the
know?
same four songs every hour, dude.
Yeah.
It's literally the same four songs every hour. Damn.
And even like when I'm driving around, like when I was driving the city and I'm like, oh, I got Hot 97, bro. It's like a 7 song
Literally,
rotation.
bro.
You,
Literally.
it's a 7 song rotation. And it's just like, yo, why isn't there more than these 7 songs? And it just drives me nuts. There's no room for the art.
at all, at all. But
So,
the world
hmm?
is changing though. The world is changing. Like
Yeah,
the way that
and
people consume their music and the way they get it, like even though the game is saturated by beyond belief, there's still
mhm.
good music out there. You just gotta find it. It's like when people, I hate when people say like, all hip hop sounds the same. It's because you listen to the fucking radio and you hear the same 7 songs. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like if you actually did some research, you probably could find somebody you like.
Let me tell you, in the past few years, I've done a lot of research looking into just different artists. Like,
Mm-hmm.
just I'll hit a list like at the end of the year and I'll like type in, I'll Google best rap albums of the year. That's how I found Billy Woods. You
Oh,
know,
word? Okay.
yeah, Jesus, I'm trying to think of who else offhand, but that was the first thing that came to mind. And
Yeah,
you just kind of like say like, yo, there's good music out there.
there is.
Like, not because not everyone's looking for that easy access and that mainstream
Yeah,
guy, like
yeah.
that mainstream appeal. Like I said, but real hip hop fans or just real music fans will take the time and
Mm-hmm.
say, okay, like
Mm-hmm.
let's go. Let's look at this. Or sometimes you might even listen to someone who's off your radar, like Justina Valentine for me.
She's
Like,
fine.
like like she's
She
like, and
spits.
then when you like,
She
huh?
spits. She spits.
Oh my gosh, she just, she's like her rhyme scheme,
Yeah.
and like I listened to some of her albums that she's had,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just like, yo, she's she's lit, and I hope for her sake, people are actually like paying attention to her, not just because it was hard for Eminem to break in as a white rapper,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be harder for her to truly break in as a white female rapper
I mean,
because now you got two things against you.
yeah. I mean, but she definitely has Wild 'N Out to help. You know what I mean? So she already has like she's been rubbing elbows for a while. You know what I mean? Like she's got some plugs that she's able to get some distribution. I'm pretty sure she's got to be signed by to somebody. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
But like, I feel you though. I feel you. It's one thing, and she doesn't rap about like what the women are rapping about now. Anyway, she sprinkles it on in there, but she's actually about bars, and I respect her for that.
absolutely. A lot of female MCs struggle with that stuff. There's
Word.
there's not really many that stand above or can stand up to the all in great Nicki Minaj. Whether people
Shout
want
out, shout out to Sa Rock. Shout out to Rhapsody. Shout out to Terruhwrist. Shout out to Snow the Product. Y'all fire. Keep it going.
oh yeah, oh yeah, and oh Rhapsody, oh
Woo!
gosh, I can't wait for that album to come
Oh, you
out in like 2 weeks.
know it. You
I
know it.
just I've been ever since I seen it. I marked the calendar. I'm like that. Oh man, I just can't wait. I think it's the 17th. So next week actually it
Fire.
comes out.
I've been waiting
Can't
for it.
wait. Can't wait. Yeah, and Tierra Whack is another
Yep.
underrated one too.
Mm-hmm.
I just had someone else crossing my mind that I can't remember. But definitely, definitely. I think you kind of answered this question. Um, Outside of that one experience you said, is there any other moments in your life specifically that have inspired your music?
Um, I mean, it's happened. It happened in flashes. So if I remember it, it was hearing the message by Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. Like hearing that song made me like rap music. You know what I mean? That was the song that made me like rap. Rap was rap.
Yeah,
Um, hearing um, hearing a Food and Liquor by Lupe. That was another pivotal moment in my life. Reading the book 1984 was another pivotal moment in my life that happened around the same time as Food and Liquor came out. I was in high
yeah,
school, changed my life. Most of my themes and most of my content come from 1984 itself. So, like, if you listen to my music, a lot of the themes come from 1984. So that was a big pivotal moment as well. Other than that, it's just um, appreciating appreciating music as I make it, not trying to be too hard on myself, and just enjoying the journey as it comes.
you're only gonna get better with time. And we're gonna. It's actually interesting. I'm gonna flip these questions around now
Okay.
because since we're going there, um, so I listened to some of the earlier projects. I'm going to get to my favorite two a little later, but
Okay.
I listened to some of the earlier stuff, and it seemed like you didn't know who you were as an artist.
Hmm.
You could rap. I could hear the ability to rap. I could hear the ability to make the music. The beat selection, like you said, was a little off in your earlier stuff.
Yeah.
Little different. Um, but you had a purpose with what you were
Yeah.
saying in a lot of those songs.
Yeah.
You had a message you were trying to get
Hmm.
across. Um, so I would like to know from that person, that man who were putting out those earlier projects. I think the first one I located was 2020. Um, um, how have you evolved in your eyes from then to now?
It's a huge exponential leap, that's for sure. But I will say that I should attribute a lot of that to like my own perseverance because I took the time. I learned to mix, master, engineer my own music, so I didn't have to go to a studio and pay out of my pocket to be able to record something. So
Yeah,
in the long run, that's definitely made me a better artist because I know my sound and I know how I should sound, and I can do it for you. I don't have to rely on anybody else to put a song out or to put an album out.
right.
So that right there is like the biggest thing. But like just knowing that practice does make perfect, and just being able to be a student of the game and be humbled when you hear other artists that are out rapping you and be like, I gotta step my shit up. After hearing Denzel Curry and after hearing JID, after hearing like when they first came into the game, I was like, yeah, I gotta step my shit up. And after that, I started studying Big Crit. I started studying Black Thought. I started studying like the rappers with the flow and the content, and I tried to make that the forefront of it. Like the
Right.
flow has to be fire. The flow has to be catchy. The hook has to be catchy, and just taking little bits and pieces of all the artists that I love and seeing how they structure their music and taking it as my own.
Mm. Yeah, no, you really, yeah, you really have to find find your groove, which this is actually perfect that you say that, because now the next question, and it kind of puts these two together, is what is the creative process then like for you?
Um, it's I truthfully I can't even really explain it because I don't even feel like it's me that has a pen in his hand after I start going. Um, I listen to a beat and I listen to it 10, 12, 15, 30 times. I try to imagine what I would hear it like, not even me performing it, how I would hear it if I would like to hear it on the radio,
Right.
and kind of build myself around that. So I try to put myself in the listener's ear when I'm making a song, if that makes like that's the easiest way that I can put
Absolutely.
it. The easiest way I could put it.
Absolutely. It's really difficult, to really see that. Like everyone's different when they create their music.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you go in and you just say, okay, you hear the beat and you're like, I got this. Or some I've heard from other artists, sometimes they have verses on like verses that they
They
want
already
to spit.
have yeah.
Right, like just kind of in the vault, like they're not spit, they're just on paper, they're written down, and they hear beat and they're like, "Oh man, I got the perfect verse for this beat." Like you just
Yeah.
So, you
I've never
know,
been that good. I've never been that talented. Like I like to hit every single note in a song as if it's its own. So like I try to just write my verse to that song. And even though a verse from one song might sound fire and another beat to another song, for me it won't sound the same because I wrote it for that specific song.
you never downplay yourself, saying you're never that good.
It's
It ain't.
hard because people
It,
be like, they got verses and verses and verses in their phones and shit like that. Now I don't have any of that, but like if you give me 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I'll write you some fire. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
but it's just your mind works different. You're more of the in the moment kind of guy,
Mm-hmm.
like, or I'm sorry, in the moment kind of artist. Okay, not so much. Okay, like this, and this. I can. You're not there just writing and writing and
No.
writing. You know, because you're the type of artist that kind of wants to hear a beat and then you want to feel the beat, and
Correct.
then you want to write to that feeling. There's nothing wrong with
Word.
that. Sometimes that could be music in its purest form,
I try.
because now you're taking that emotion and you're just letting it out right in the moment. And
Word.
if you can even record it in that moment that you're feeling it, the fans and the connection to you with your fans will be stronger.
Word.
So there's nothing wrong with that process at all. Sometimes that's just how you like to
Yeah.
connect. Like, it's a whole nother vibe. Like it's just
It is.
kind of like, it's not like it's poetry when you can just say, okay, you know, like it's poetry, but it's
It
not,
feels like
if
it's
that makes
coming
sense.
from somewhere else. It feels like it's
Right.
not coming from you.
Right. You feel it's something within you or in here that just takes you to another
Word.
level, takes you to another world.
Word.
So there's nothing wrong with that. And you should never sell yourself short. You're still finding yourself as an artist, as I am here.
Word. I hear it.
You know, as anyone is in anything they're doing. They're trying to find what they
I
do.
appreciate
Of
that, bro.
course, of course. So you talk about actually, hold on. I wrote those backwards. What do you feel is the purpose of your music other than entertainment?
Revolution. Revolution, and not the revolution that we're picking up guns and we're aiming at the government and we're starting civil war with each other. It's not a physical revolution, not with guns. It's with our minds. You know what I mean? We have to turn the tide on our thinking about being just for ourselves, and we have to be more selfless as a society, because if we're not, we're just going to be falling by the wayside. It's happening to us right now. You know what I mean? We're literally, like I said before, we're being divided and conquered little by little until there's nobody left. And I just I just don't want to see that happen. If by any stretch of the imagination, if I get what I want from my music and my will be done, I will never rap again. You know what I mean? But until then, I got unlimited ammo.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You have to utilize that ammunition and really just put forth a message that's positive and a message that is very a message that's very heartfelt for people,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
people don't always understand it. People don't always get it. People don't always look at the full story of that.
yeah. I'm not rapping to drive a Phantom. You know what I mean? I'm not rapping to be Drake or Hove. You know what I mean? I don't want millions of dollars in my pocket. I'm shitty with money anyway. You know what I mean? So like at the end of the day, like it's gonna go to charities. It's like it's not about that. For me, it's not about that. I want to be able to just make money and live comfortably on my music, but still be able to give back to the communities that make up all of our one big community.
Right?
Facts.
Right. And that's a beautiful thing. A beautiful thing. Which now brings me to kind of a big topic. I was gonna ask you about performing, but I'm gonna hold off on that for a second.
All right.
Because this topic that I'm about to bring up, it's very personal to me as
Okay.
someone who suffers from depression, anxiety. Most people can't tell. I hide it very well,
Feel you.
but it's something that I've learned to accept,
Mm-hmm.
something that I've learned to be more transparent about
Good.
in my journey to kind of get through these things. But what is your perspective? And May is Mental Health Month also.
Good to know.
What is your perspective on mental health within the music industry and as a broader issue?
Well, I mean, we hit on it before. It seems like hip hop they completely shun it. Um, Not completely. There are some that get into their vulnerabilities and whatnot, like NF.
Oh yeah.
NF is a great artist. You know that
Oh yeah.
he's one to just put his feelings out there on his sleeve. You know what I mean? And you gotta respect that, because not everybody's like that. Um, and I wish it would happen more. And it seems like in our society now, mental health is being placed on the forefront of things, which I am a huge advocate of, because I also suffer from depression and anxiety and OCD, and who knows if I'm even on the spectrum. You know what I mean? Who the
Right.
fuck knows? But at the end of the day, it's just a matter of like, we're not really all that different from each other if we actually take a second and think about it. Everybody's going through some shit. Everybody's has something on their minds that takes them and makes them absent from present moment in time. But we have to be able to realize that we're here now. Got to be grateful that we're able to breathe air, step outside, and just be happy that you can step foot on the grounds and be here, because that doesn't happen to everybody.
Absolutely. And well, so in music, do you believe personally that it should be something, and not just even hip hop, I'm saying
Yeah, I
here.
feel you.
Um, in music, do you think it should be something that's talked about more? Because really, it's looked at on as a weakness,
Mm-hmm.
and especially for brown men. Not even say black men or say brown men, period, but especially brown men.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's something personally that needs to be addressed more?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, realistically, it really comes down to like, where these big record companies are they giving their artists any form of insurance to be able to go to a therapist or see a doctor? You know what I mean? Like, half of these artists don't have health insurance. You know what I mean? They pay out of their pocket for this. So like, who's to say that even the lesser artists that don't have a big budget like they do are able to, see a therapist if they need to, or
Right.
shit like that?
Right.
And it should happen a lot more. You know what I mean? There were a lot of advocates for getting artists health insurance and medical insurance and whatnot, and it should happen because the mental health is probably one of the most important things right now, as far as society goes. So we should put a spotlight on that as far as record companies go, but we already know that's what they're about anyway. But yes, I do believe that mental health should be given a spotlight for anybody that's in the music industry, because we see what happens. We have the 27 Club, you know what I mean? That in
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah, and it's definitely something we need to take more seriously. It's something that we need to really put a note on. And I can tell you personally, I've had some ideas about some things to do in the area
Okay.
for it. I've just gotta really just figure out the right wavelengths to get things done.
Okay.
But it is something I'm looking forward and looking to do um as soon as this summer.
All
So,
right. Maybe with that,
if you
I'm
if you
definitely
want,
down.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just really just about getting the right people in place, and just really getting people who want to talk. Finally TV, what's up? Um Appreciate you tuning in.
I got
Just
you.
wanna definitely get on that. And I'm trying to bring awareness, and I'm really trying to do some things even in our area that people aren't paying attention to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of them for sure.
I dig it.
So
I'm with that.
appreciate you. The art of performing. I did get to capture, there's not many videos of you performing, but I did get to find a few. And performing's hard.
That's it.
You gotta call it what it is. I can't rap. I've never tried. I've tried. I'm terrible at it. I just can't put words together like that and sit there and brainstorm and think of things that'll sound fire. That's just not who
I
I
feel
am.
you. I feel you. I feel you.
So if you, and you gotta train your voice.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you got to do an 8 or 10 or 12 song set, you got to train your voice so it doesn't give out by song
Yeah.
five, and
Yeah.
then you sound like a freaking horse or like a donkey through 7 songs.
I've had a couple of those early on in my career.
Oh yeah. So, art of performing. How do you prepare, and how did you learn your art, your structure of it?
um, I I do a lot of rehearsing, so like, I need to know all of my song. Well, I do know all of my songs, like
What
word
up,
for word.
Debo? Appreciate you, bro.
So like all my songs I know word for word, and I do that by rehearsing. And when I rehearse, I I walk around wherever I am. If I'm like in a neighborhood, I walk around the neighborhood. While I'm walking, I'm reciting the songs with the beat, without the beat. It doesn't matter as long as I know like the flow. I can really just flow without a beat, and it'll sound the exact same way. So I just make sure that I'm doing cardio while I'm rehearsing, so that I can maintain my breath control
Yep.
when I'm actually performing. And then it's just a matter of pacing myself throughout the show, knowing that I can't give all of my energy in the first two songs. It's like you said, your voice is going to be gone and you're going to be hoarse. It won't sound good. You're going to put on a crappy performance. So it's really all about breath control, realizing in your songs when you're supposed to breathe and when you should breathe, and having stage presence, and just making sure that you're in shape. Because if you're not in shape, then you're just going to be huffing and puffing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's definitely it's an art
Yeah.
in its own right, and it's a science. And people don't think about that. They just kind of like,
Nah,
all right, I'm gonna go out here now.
nah. And I actually saw this in action when I went to go see Run the Jewels with Killer Mike and LP. There's some heavy set dudes, you know what I mean? But they did a full hour set, and it was like they didn't even skip a beat, you know what I mean? Energy the entire time. They were jumping up and down, but you know what I mean? You would automatically look at Killer Mike and be like, yo, he's not going to have any energy in the third song. But then, you know what I mean? They're rocking the shit out for a whole hour. And it's just like, you got to stay in shape. If you're not in shape, then you can't hang, bro.
Killing it.
Word. Shout out to Killer
So absolutely. Shout out to him winning 3 Grammys this year too.
Facts with a sweep. Bring out the broom.
Exactly. Exactly. Too bad that wasn't the talk of his night,
It's okay.
unfortunately.
It's okay.
We still got that W.
Word. Facts.
So now I want to get in. Now you got a lot of projects on Apple Music.
I do. I do.
And I'm just gonna. I mean, you can see I'm referring because I'm using my phone. I'm referring to my iPad to kind of look at what the point I'm gonna make. And you have like, I had to research. I had to search it twice because there's like two different ones here. Why
Yeah.
does this
Yeah.
not?
Yeah.
Why does this not have a search thing? Okay, there we go. So I started, and I just wanna bring it up. Well, just bear with me 1 second. Uh, no, not that one. I need the other one. There it is. So I listened to. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your first EP.
Oh, the proletariat.
Yes, I listened to that, and I listened to 2 Minutes Hate.
Okay.
I had already listened to Fireside Chats,
Word.
but then I seen a post. I seen a post, and it was talking about this one. And it really, your face here really caught my attention. So I really just was like, I need to listen to this before we get on the show.
Okay. Okay.
Because, so I have to say, you know, every artist has, they work hard, you know. Sometimes you could tell when an artist doesn't care.
Yeah.
Sometimes you could tell when an artist was being experimental and it didn't work.
Word.
So what I seen with this project right here is from the first song, War on Terror. I I was like, oh, he's coming out swinging,
Yeah. 100.
swinging, like you were swinging, like there was no tomorrow. I was like, oh man,
Yeah.
and as I went through, and you said in the chat that you didn't know what you were doing on this project.
I didn't. I didn't.
And for you, this project really just showed lyrically maybe some of the beat selections you didn't like, and maybe a few of them the voice and the beat didn't go
It
the
was
way
mostly
you
audio
wanted to.
quality.
You know,
Mostly audio quality. If I could do that album again now, that'd probably be my favorite album of all time.
you. I mean, listen, artists remaster their records all the
Word.
time. You know, you know, I know you like to do things yourself, but I got a guy who can help you.
Bet.
If you're interested.
Okay.
Um, Real good dude.
Okay.
So, but this. So I know you weren't happy with the audio
Yeah.
quality. But lyrically, we're gonna go lyrically.
Lyrically, I'm fucking going ham.
Second to none, and I believe this one had the most songs on it
15, yeah.
of of all the projects. And I gotta say, I have to give you your flowers. Freedom Ain't Free.
Thank you.
Phenomenal,
I
phenomenal.
made that beat.
Oh, you know,
Thank you. Thank you.
Deliverance. I mean, hell, even the damn interludes were heat. Like, like
Thank you.
this
Hot shit.
specific project, I feel like even the name, when you decided to name it that, you knew you had to bring it.
Yeah.
You
100.
knew you had to bring it. Now, I was trying to fit this and War on Terror 2 also in, but I just didn't have enough
I
time.
feel you. I feel
And it's just, and like it sucks because like in my life, like I can listen to music in the morning,
you.
right, going to work, but I'm worried about going to work,
Hear
so
it.
I'm not I'm not
Yeah.
listening. I'm hearing it,
Yeah.
but I'm not listening. And when I come home, I got my 9-year-old
Mm-hmm,
here. She
mm-hmm.
wants to dad, and then
Yeah.
it's just
Life.
hard,
Life.
to listen. If you seen my headphone collection, you would know. You'd be like, well, man, this dude loves music.
Word. Okay.
I have like 8 pairs of headphones. It's
Oh, that's fine.
disgusting.
Okay.
It's disgusting.
That's dope though.
But with this project, I want to ask you when you went into this because it's before those other projects even.
Mm-hmm.
What was the goal here? Because you just really you lyrically you just you checked every box here,
Appreciate it.
every box,
Appreciate it.
absolutely.
That's what it was. I really wanted to put motherfuckers on notice. You know what I mean? Even if it wasn't gonna be like a nationwide kind of thing, just even the people that are around me to just be like, oh, nah, he about it. Like he's really about it. And after the
Absolutely.
first one, I was extremely excited. You know what I mean? But I was really critical of myself and finding out ways that I could improve myself. And then I came out with Proletariat. You know what I mean? And then the Proletariat is increasingly better than War on Terror, but still not where I want it to be. And then when War on Terror 2 came out, that's when I knew that, oh, this nigga nice.
Oh, okay. So
You
I gotta do
do.
that. I
You
got I
do.
got.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, oh, you
Yeah.
do, you do, you like. He said that with mad confidence. Oh, you do, you do.
100, 100. That's when I knew. That's when I knew that this was for me.
Okay, so that's when you feel like you found maybe so much found your voice,
Yes. Yeah.
and it seemed like there's a couple 2020 projects. That's COVID, so you had the time to really say, okay, you had the time to dedicate to this and say, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna figure this thing out.
Word. Most of my projects came within that 2020 to 2021 time frame. Most of
Yeah,
them, a large bulk of them, came in that front half of the COVID. You know what I mean? I just
absolutely.
put everything I could out there.
That was the time because no
State of
one had.
mind. My fault.
No, you good. You good. You gotta say what up to the
My guy,
audience. Appreciate
right
them.
there. My guy.
So you have that time. You did that, and that was the time to do it because you had nothing but time.
Literally.
Everything was closed. Everyone had nothing but time. Like, oh,
Word.
let's see who's doing this, who's doing what.
Word.
Which brings me to real quick before I go on to that. What's
Mhm.
your favorite song on this project?
Which one?
On,
War on Terror?
on War on Terror.
Um, oh, I have two.
Okay,
It's Facts,
that's
and then
still
Emoji Interlude. Emoji Interlude was like the first song I ever did a video for, and after seeing the video, after seeing how like my lyrics translated into a visual, you know what I mean? I fell in love right after that. You know what I mean? That was it.
yeah,
That was it.
absolutely. Both dope tracks. Like I said, the interludes are even fire on there. And Gold Mines was another one. Oh my god.
Oh, my man! Shout out to my guy, Lord Luxury,
Oh
my
my
guy
god.
Shannon. Rest in peace. That's my guy right there, bro. That's my guy. That's my guy right there. He's no longer with us, but he's with me. You know what I mean?
God bless. My condolences, but Gold Mines. Yeah, that as I was listening to this, I'm having a potluck at work tomorrow.
Okay.
So I make this chicken lasagna.
Ooh,
I seen it on Facebook. It's all the same things lasagna has, just chicken.
okay.
And so I got this big. I don't know if you can see. Excuse the mess. Hopefully my wife don't get mad. Oh wait, I got this big. Where is it? I'm just gonna flip the camera.
I
Screw
saw the pop collection. I'm fucking with that.
it. You seen what?
The Funkos,
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
fire.
It's Funko
Woo,
City. Love them. I started with 4, and now I got like over 150 of them.
woo.
So I got this big speaker here.
Okay,
It's a JB Out Party Box. I won it with the safety points I get at work for
fire.
certain things, and so I was listening to it in that, listening, and I was cooking the lasagna. Gold Mines came on. I had to stop. I had to stop and give it my full attention. Like I was like, and then I was mad because before I realized what was happening,
It was over.
half the song was gone. So I had to go back and re-listen to it because I was mad that I missed it. I was like, whoa, what's going on
Nah,
here?
that's my shit. That's also one of my favorite songs on there too. Can't lie.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
was just like, oh, okay. I said, oh, yeah, he even spelt it without an O, so I knew it had to be heat. He knew it had to be heat.
yeah, nah. We used to make really good music together, man. For real.
God bless. God bless. It's the worst. Unfortunately, life has to go on.
I know, man.
But you didn't let that keep you down. You kept making the music, and now
Word.
I want to go and talk about my other favorite project that I've listened to of yours so far. There was heavy promotion on this one. You were putting it out there. I think this was the time we started coming into contact.
Mm-hmm.
Fireside Chats.
Oh man. Oh,
And,
sheesh.
and
That
I
was
got
like me maturing into myself.
Fireside Chats.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
That's definitely a story, from beginning to end.
that album's a vibe.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you, bro.
and Big Hero Wrist. Yeah.
Yo.
Let me tell you,
Oh
you
man.
certain. I love when artists leave you wanting more. So one of my favorite ending songs of an album is "It Ain't Hard to Tell" by Nas.
Oh hell yeah. Hell
Cause
yeah.
it's the last bar. Nas's rap should be locked in a cell. It ain't hard to tell. And then you're like, no, it's over. Like, no. I need more. Like,
Word.
I need more music. I need more. And then he takes 3 years off before It Was Written comes out. Like, are you kidding me, bro?
And then that intro for It Was Written was
Woo,
every woo woo
bro.
woo.
Now I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna act like I was listening to It Was Written in '97.
I
I
hear
ain't
it.
gonna, I didn't start listening to Nas until like, unfortunately, first Nas album I heard was Nostradamus. So
Same,
you
same.
know, and it
Still
was
mad.
bad.
Still mad.
Yeah, but once Still Matter came, I said, oh, okay, now we got to go backwards and listen to
Yeah.
this man.
Yeah.
Like that. But this album here, I feel like every element that I was able to listen to up until this point, everything was right on this project. Your
Thank you, bro.
sound quality was great. You brought the bars, you brought the message that you wanted to bring with this album, and you ended it with Big Hero Wrist. I probably replayed that song 30 fucking times because it was just like I was just like, this is amazing. That and Mighty Mouse are my two favorites
Oh
on the
yeah,
song.
Mighty Mouse is just like that's on some real shit. That's on some other shit. That's like
You
Boogie
know,
Down Bronx terror right
like
there.
it made me think of one of my favorite rappers is MF Doom, and it
Oof.
made me think of Danger Doom. He had a
Mm-hmm.
song on there called like Mincemeat, and it just, I don't know why, but Danger Doom and the Mouse, it just, all that just came together.
Fire, fire,
Um,
fire.
but yeah, MF Doom, rest in peace. But this album, what was your thought process and your concept and your way of thinking once you got to this point? Because you really, I feel like it's one of those situations where it's kind of like you're like, I know this is good.
Yeah,
Oh, it's good.
yeah.
But I think for you, and this is just my personal opinion. You tell me if I'm wrong, but you put it out and it was better than you thought. Like, like you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I feel like I'm always critical of myself. You know what I mean? But like, I definitely took this one and I took this one with high regard because like I dead ass brought it. You know what I mean? Like from beginning to
Yeah.
end. Like just the name of it itself is Fireside Chats, and if you understand what a fireside chat is, you realize that we're sitting by a radio listening for somebody to tell us a story. You know what I mean? And that's what I tried to do. I tried to give you interludes. I tried to give you little excerpts, little snippets of voices and stuff like that that add to the ambiance of the theme and the content of the music. And I tried as best as I could to make it catchy, but still hard hitting. I got some bangers on there. I tried to touch every aspect of society that I could have. Try to make it catchy, like I said. And you know, when I came out with that one, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna keep doing this for the rest of my life, even if I don't wanna.
Yeah. Absolutely. You hit on it. You hit
Thank
on it.
you, bro.
Absolutely. So one thing I kind of looked over or I kind of skipped, like I wrote it here. Like this is the notes for the interview.
Woo,
Yeah,
hella notes.
2 pages. That was
Oh,
the
I'm
honest
honored.
picks. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
honored.
We still got a little bit to get to. So I hope you know. I got to
I'm here.
start asking how much time people have. I just start writing. I had one guest tell me mid show like, I don't have that. I got to go in like in like 15 minutes. So now I got to make sure. I got to make sure I'm asking them how much time
I'm
they
here.
got.
I'm here for you.
So if you look here, I don't know if you can see, I wrote relocation up here.
Hmm.
So, and I talked about you relocating from the Bronx here, but I
Hmm.
didn't talk about you relocating from here to Rochester. How'd that happen, and why Rochester?
Man,
So this
long
is
story short,
stories
long,
I've heard is it's kind of rough there.
it is rough.
Like,
Hell fucking yeah. Don't move out there. Um, I would just to make a long story short, I had a friend out there that I thought was my friend and realized he was not my friend. And, you know, I was just up there by myself trying to make ends meet, you know, still working on the music, furiously working on the music. I feel like I received way more recognition up there for my music than I ever did down here. So
okay,
like that was, you know, that was a good feeling, but it kind of hurt because like I'm from here, you know what I mean? But
right,
it is what it is. I ain't my aim is to be global. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be Route 17K. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like I want everybody to know what I'm about. Um, but yeah, I put my head into the sand, put my head into my MacBook. I made as much music as I possibly could. I made sure that I was able to get everything dialed in so that it sounds exactly the same way it should every single time. So every project from here on out is gonna sound like fireside chats. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah,
gonna sound like that from every time from now on. It's gonna sound. You can expect me to come with it every single time. There's gonna be some experimentation, but I feel like me moving up there definitely helped me not only find myself as an artist, but as a person. You know what I mean? Being comfortable with my own company,
absolutely.
being comfortable being alone in my own company. You know what I mean? Not needing to rely on anybody else's company. So like I'm a dangerous motherfucker now. You know what I mean? Like I really don't give a fuck. Like I'm just here. I'm making my music, and I don't care who listens. If you like it, I love you. If you don't, you should listen. And this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not making music to impress anybody anymore. Like I lost sight of that a long time ago, and once I did that, like it became fun for me again.
Yeah, you became
Word,
passionate about it
word.
again. You know. Oh, while you were up there, I was once again creeping. I seen two certain things that stood out. Now, I've seen a few different things, but these two things I'm going to bring out were both in 2023, and they both at least stood out to me. The first thing I have written here is the local sound showcase, which took place December 1st, 2023.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What and it looked like a tiny desk concert, right? Like that's the vibe I kind of got from
Yeah.
seeing you with the artist there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, anytime you see a local showcase, that usually means you're one of the best in the area. When especially when you're being promoted
Yeah.
with other artists. They may be rappers, singers,
Mm-hmm.
they may play an instrument, but what was that like? And how'd that show go? And how did you become a part of that?
I had I did make a couple of friends out there when I did move out there in the music scene, and I was able to get my name out in the same venue multiple times. We would hold like a bunch of cannabis events, So it was
Okay.
always a vibe. You know what I mean? It was always based around the cannabis events, but we would have live music, and they would kind of conjoin them together. So it was always like weed and music all together. So it was a vibe, and I was able to be a part of it on a normal basis. They would have events every month or so. I would go. I would use it basically as rehearsal. You know what I mean? Just to make sure that I'm sharp and see how people will react to certain songs that I would do. And I would just take that with me and use it as my own analytics, see which songs that they would bop to, see which ones not so much. And I would just use it as my kind of engagement process.
Yeah. Wow. That's interesting. And now it just dawned on me. Something you said to me in a private, well, not a private, but an off screen conversation is you were
Mm-hmm.
looking for open mic opportunities, right?
Yes. Yes.
And something just started happening right in Newburgh. And what made me trigger this is you said weed. So I have a friend who is a partner with another girl, friends with her too. It's called Happy Tree.
I've heard of it. Yes.
And I don't know if you're familiar. One of my friends is this DJ. He goes by the name Raps.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
he started putting these local vocal shows together,
Okay. Okay.
and I missed the second one. I'm so upset. Made it to the first one. The vibe. People come out.
Word.
They check out the artist. They come. Everyone smokes their weed. I don't smoke weed. I have a CDL.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone smokes their weed. He does the beats. Um, and it's a vibe. It's a vibe. I don't know the business side of it. I'm not even gonna lie to you, but just thinking about it, and you want your name, you want to get out there. I'm sure,
Let me know, bro.
So,
I'm with that.
so if you want me to put you through with
That'd be
him,
great.
because he said he's doing another one in June. I think when I seen him last week,
Bet.
so I will put him through with you after the show.
Okay.
And
I appreciate that.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you.
The other one that really stood out was March Madness, which was before that one.
Mm-hmm.
March 11th, 2023. It looked like a big card of artists, a lot of exposure, a lot of eyes. And March Madness is, if you're a sports fan, that's one of
Yeah.
the biggest
Yeah.
times of the year.
Word.
So how was that? How did you become a part of that?
Thankfully it was at the same location, you know what I mean? They have a great turnout every single event, you know what I mean? So we would have 50, 60 people there just like rocking out, buying some goodies, listening to the music. So I was just thankful to be a part of a group that was able to be a consistent factor in the hip hop scene up there in Rochester for sure.
Okay. Okay. You were able to get a lot of exposure. And I missed a
It's all
question.
good.
So I'm going to ride back a little bit.
Yeah.
What's of your albums, what's your favorite one?
Oh man. I can't answer that one.
You want to go back to some honest picks?
I'll answer this one.
he's like, nah, we're
Nah,
good on
go.
that.
If I had to, shoot, man, and I'm going to say the Proletariat 2, and the reason being is because, like in chronological order, obviously, I had the Proletariat, then I had War on Terror 2, then I had the Proletariat 2. So increasingly, shit got better as we kept going down the line.
Yeah.
And I felt like the Proletariat 2 is the one that I can put on for somebody, regardless of however many albums I make. I can put on the Proletariat 2 for somebody, and I can give them a complete glimpse of what I am as a person, as an artist. You know what I mean? I can give them that right there, and they'll know who I am just by listening to those 7 songs.
Okay. I'm going to have to definitely check that one out as well.
Oh, man.
I
And the
didn't, I didn't,
Proletariat 2 is personally like my favorite, for real, for real. But the War on Terror 2 is just like, it's just full of bangers, bro. Just full of bangers.
so just those. So you just like doing those part twos and coming out.
100,
you just
100.
you just like to show out during those part twos.
For real. I can't lie. Yeah, those part twos are great.
So we gonna see fireside chats too,
We
maybe?
are. We
Oh,
are. I mean, I got the threes coming out right now. I got the first of the third installment coming out right now. It's actually should be coming out in a week. It's called The Proletariat 3, FOV, Field of View. And so that's ready to come out. It should be on all streaming platforms within this week. So be on the lookout for that joint. And then Fireside Chats is coming up next.
oh man, see, I done jumped my own interview with excitement. But that's a little later. So now you're back in the 845. Obviously, we just spoke about the local vocals, but what are you looking to do with your music, and how are you looking to really get out there in a sense, so people in this area who may not be familiar with you, you know, get familiar with you?
I'm planning on partnering with a good friend of mine. Um, he's one of the Karaoke Boys. I don't know if you guys know the Karaoke Boys.
Okay.
My guy Pablo and Tito Vasquez. Those are my guys. But I'm going to partner with them in order to get some venues going, do some live shows of my own. So that's what I'm aiming at now. Aside from the open mics and stuff like that, I'm gonna start trying to do my own shows, getting people to come out to my own shows, try to get some other artists so that we can do like community kind of vibe. You know what I mean? That's what I really want to do. So there's some artists out here that I'm gonna be tapping in with soon. See if they want to get on board because the summer's coming up. I want to get a couple shows, a couple live shows around the area for the summer. See what happens from there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, listen, anything I can do to help, man. I want to utilize this platform to help grow anyone who's trying
I
to grow
appreciate
in
it.
more
Likewise.
ways than one.
Word up.
You know, I got some people who might be able to put together a video package or something as
Okay.
well.
I appreciate that. I appreciate
You
that. I
know,
haven't had one of those in a minute. That would be
you
great.
know, just get visual aid. You know,
Yeah.
we gotta lift each other up. You know what I'm
Word,
saying?
bro. Word. Word.
So you talked about so much the upcoming projects coming. You talked about I have upcoming performances that you hear. But one thing I seen you post the other day, or not the other day, but not too long ago, was you holding
Oh,
a
thanks, sir.
degree in a bachelor's of science.
Yes, information technology, and I fucking hate it. Stay in school, kids. Stay in school.
Stay in school so you can get a degree to hate your job.
Yeah, word, word,
So,
word.
so what exactly is that then? And why do you hate it so much? I didn't expect this question to go that way, but that's where we're going.
I mean, it's a fallback. You know, what I mean, it's a realistic fallback because my dream is not gonna come to fruition the way I want it to. But you know what I mean. So I still have to be realistic in my endeavors. So I got an education in information technology, and I was hoping that I would, have that as a fallback. So I got a couple jobs up in Rochester in that field, and I hated them. You know what I mean? So realizing that it wasn't for me, I'm just gonna use my degree when I can, and I'm gonna use it to my advantage. But other than that, like it's not my, it's not my passion. You know what I mean? My passion is music, and after that, right now I'm working at a job like coaching kids in sports. You know what I mean? So like it's a complete 180 from what I was doing when I was in Rochester, and I couldn't be more happier now. You know what I mean? So um, I'm just glad that I have a degree, and if I need to use it, I'll use it. But at the end of the day, like that's not, I didn't get the degree to make my life. I got the degree to just have it because if I need to fall back on it, I'm gonna fall back on
Absolutely. And I think, sometimes we do things not out of spite. Um, I don't know I don't know the word I'm really looking for, but we do things because we feel like they're the right things to do, if that
it.
makes
Yeah, out of
sense.
weight of expectation. Out of weight of expectation.
Right. And, listen, whether you hate it or not, a bachelor's degree is an accomplishment.
That's a
Something
fact.
under because school and studying and books and that grueling schedule, taking 4 or 5 classes each semester,
Word,
having your head in a book, even when you're not at school,
word.
you be proud of yourself for
For sure,
that. You know,
Sure, I am.
that's something that I didn't even have the patience to even think about doing, which is why I work in a warehouse and drive a truck.
I hear it. I
You
hear it.
know, so that's just how that kind of goes. And now, so now you said now you're coaching kids. Um, did you ever have you ever coached kids before? And
I have. Yeah.
what do you
And like,
coach? Basketball, football?
yeah, I used to coach the kids when I was like in high school. We used to have like intramural programs. I used to go back to my elementary school. I used to be a coach. I used to volunteer my time at summer camps and stuff like that. So I'm comfortable, you know, teaching kids what to do, disciplining children, you know, being around children as a role model. I'm the oldest of three, so I already had the weight of expectations. You know what I mean? I already raised two kids of my own, not
Right.
not my own, you know, but like indirectly raised two children too. So you know, I'm definitely comfortable with being that role model for children. Right now, I'm coaching basketball, flag football, track and field, and tennis. So you know, it's dope, dude. It's so cool seeing the inner child be, you know, nurtured as a child, and then you as an adult nurturing your inner child too. It's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? And you don't really realize it until you actually like feel like a kid again. And I feel like that's the best feeling in the world, feeling like a little kid again.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it's not an easy feeling to get to.
Especially now, you know what I mean? Everything is go, go, go.
Absolutely, absolutely. So earlier you talked about how you've produced a lot of your songs and learned how to engineer and things like that. Is
Mm-hmm.
there any chance of doing more producing down the road, whether it be for your projects or for other artists?
I mean, most of the time, like, it's pretty much for me because I don't, not that I don't want to give it away to anybody, I just don't feel like anybody would like it the way I like it.
Right.
And that's just, you know, that's just being a creative. You know what I mean? That's your baby. You create it and you want to hold on to it. But if somebody else likes it, by all means. I mean, I'm not going to go out of my way to give somebody beats, but if they like the way that I make beats and stuff like that, by all means. I'm not even going to charge you for a beat. You know what I mean? It's off the love. Um, I did make a whole project when I was up in Rochester. It's called 226 ADEP. That one was completely in-house. Every single beat was done by me. I mixed and mastered everything, like every other project. But this project was special for me because it was all me. Like I made every single beat, and it came out to be a complete 180 from all of my other music. It's more of a funk jazz kind of feel. So like I love that I was able to deviate in my own way and just have it sound like nothing like I regularly make. So I'm proud of that one for sure. So I'm gonna continue to make my own beats because I feel like it gives me that edge of vulnerability and just themes and just the beat can stand by itself because it has an emotion. If the beat can have an emotion without any words to it, you've already won. So that's how I kind of approach producing
Yeah,
itself, and everything else follows.
I'm I'm with that. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong at
Right.
all. What every artist has dreams of working with different artists. In your mind, who are some artists, and it could be anyone.
Mm-hmm.
It could be anyone locally. It could be anyone from anywhere. Who are some artists you would love to one day work with and make a song or make any kind of amount of music with?
Aside from Lupe, that's the given. You know what I mean? Lupe is the given.
Yeah.
Um, Ab Soul from TDE,
Oof.
his
Absol.
his
So
brain,
underrated.
his brain. I just want to pick his brain for an hour, bro. I just want to pick his brain for an hour. The way that he just formulates his raps and his punchlines and deliveries is just otherworldly. You know what I mean? It's just he's like, in my opinion, he's one of the best wordsmiths or lyricists of our generation. But you know, he's a little underrated because he's behind Kendrick. But it is what it is.
Right.
Absol would be my pick. If I'm getting out of the hip hop scene, I would love to do a song with Ed Sheeran because Ed Sheeran is the fucking GOAT. You know what I mean? Personally, Ed Sheeran is the GOAT to me. Beautiful songwriter, able to capture an emotion in a bar.
Yeah.
Just beautiful. Um, Metallica would be another one.
Okay.
Um, Metallica's a big influence on my music as well. And then you know, KRS-One, the teacher.
Wow. You can't go wrong with any. And with KRS-One, see, cats weren't liking him because he was schooling people. He was schooling people before. Like
Word.
they're like, if you really listen to the history of KRS-One, he
Mm-hmm.
was schooling cats and people didn't know, excuse me, people didn't understand him. And sometimes to be misunderstood is to be great.
Word.
And and he is one of the greatest by far.
By far. By far. And I'm glad he's getting his roses now. You know what I mean? Like, obviously he's one of the greatest of all time, but when the younger generation of rappers pay homage to like the forefathers of rap,
Yeah.
like you gotta appreciate the ones that are given the flowers, no matter what age. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it seems like a lot of people forgot the history. You know what I mean? All these littles and all this shit like that. They're just making music like they forgot where they came from. But
Absolutely.
the ones that remember the foundation, like those are the ones that you realize there's substance in their music and it has replay value over years and years and shit like that. So there's good music out there. It's just you got to look for it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, what is your your ultimate goal in music? So, like many people have different goals. I had one guy on here, D Mac, he told me his goal is to have one of the greatest albums ever. Like what is if you could pick one goal, or it could be more than one, to be that imprint, like that one thing you want to accomplish in music, what would it be?
I just want to make a difference, man. I just want to make a difference. Just to show other people that it might be cliche, like anybody can do it, but it's true. You know what I mean? Some people spend all their lives doubting their own selves whether they can do it or not, and never even try, and then live with regret. You know what I mean? So if I can show anybody anything, is that you can learn how to do things on your own. We've been given the tools and the technology in order to do shit on our own, and don't take that for granted. If you feel like you have a creative bone in your body, fucking use it, bro. Whether it's sewing, knitting, crocheting, making beats, like making dream catchers. You know what I mean? Like use your creative spirit. Everybody's got a creative bone in their body. It's just a matter of how you find
Yeah.
yours. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any other aspirations outside of music?
I mean, I feel like my music is my mission. You know what I mean? Like the music is the means to achieve the mission of revolution and uniformity, not uniformity, or just oneness, empowerment. Just using music to say that we matter, bro. You know what I mean? We're here for a reason. We're on a mathematically perfect floating rock, and we're over here worried about fucking credit scores and shit. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
it's bigger than that.
There's a
Word,
lot more layers to it.
word.
And I don't, like I said, I end every show with what I like to call a positive ending message, which is I give you the floor to say anything that's positive to the viewers who are watching, or to someone who will later watch or listen to
I
this.
got you right now.
The floor is yours.
Short but sweet. Just say this to yourself every morning. I am grateful I am me, and that's a guarantee. That's all I got.
Short and sweet sometimes makes the point. I want to thank you for coming
Thank
on
you, Mike.
here.
Thank you,
I
bro.
want to thank you. We got to link up. We got a lot
Facts.
to talk about also.
Word.
If you want to go through, we'll go through the channels of all that stuff we spoke about, as
Facts.
well as other things. But that's Terruhwrist. Tell anyone who's watching this where they can find you, whether it be social media, and where they can find your music.
Yo, I just want to say thank you to anybody that's tuned in for this episode. Mike, I appreciate you for having me on.
Absolutely.
There's plenty of music to come along. The Proletariat 3 FOV is going to be dropping within a week, so be on the lookout for that. It's going to be on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, anything you dream of is going to be on there. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Threads. I don't know how many more social media platforms there are, but it's all on the same handle: Terruhwrist, Terruhwrist, Terruhwrist. You can find me anywhere you stream your music, and I hope to see you there for real, because it means the world to me.
Listen, everyone, check him out. He's dope. He does his thing. He's a great guy. It was great to talk to
You
you,
too, bro.
see you face to
Word.
face. We still gotta have a meeting in real time, but we're
Gonna
getting.
happen.
This is a big step
Facts.
in that direction. A big step in that direction. Nothing but love, brother.
Love,
I
like,
appreciate you.
likewise.
This is Honest Hour. I'll be back next Thursday. My guest hasn't confirmed if she'll be here, but if she's not, someone will be here talking to me.
100.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you all listening. I'll see you next week.
Peace.
Peace.
Wrist.